Hey guys. So the other night or the other afternoon, I did my very first live stream, and it was on part 7. I was unaware that it was just going to be really short clips, and there was an hour in between each of the clips, so really didn't get to talk about a lot. They went all the way through clip number 12, and I think the last clip was on the polygraph test. So I did want to talk about Blue Bacon's portion of this. I think he did a really good job. He got in there and he made a good point, and Dr. Phil picked up on that point, which the chip on the shoulder thing. But let's take a look at the video, and I'm gonna pause it as we go along and put my 2 cents worth in, if it's worth 2 cents. And give you my opinion as a retired U.S. Army military police master sergeant. I've got an extensive background in law enforcement. Been in a lot of different schools, and even on the civilian side. So anyway, let's get into the video, and I'll give you my 2 cents worth. If I can get this thing to fire up.
Over the course of time, I've learned that there's a lot of haters for myself. There's even a guy that started an online website that has been receiving the leaked videos of my body camera that was confiscated by law enforcement. There's even an online channel of a gentleman by the name of Sergeant Blue Bacon. He's interviewed me once.
He started his own company so he could escort funerals.
He even created a parody musical of some of the videos that are out there on social media platforms saying that they were of me. However, a great deal of those videos weren't even true to that fact.
He claims he acts within the law, but that's highly disputable.
I shake my head wondering to myself.
All right, let me pause right there. Now, Jeremy claims that's not him in some of these videos. Yeah, no. The body camera footage is his body camera. You could do voice analysis. The one where he confronts the guy in the small dark colored car, who told him stop make believing you're a police officer. That was awesome. That was great. But voice analysis on that, it's Jeremy. He says it's not, but it was him, and he tries to deflect anything that's doesn't look good for him. He tries to say it was somebody else. I don't see him giving access to the company's body cameras to all of his employees so they could post the stuff on social media. Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth on that, and we'll continue on.
Don't people have things better to do or worry about the ongoing pandemic that's out there?
Over the past 10 years, Jeremy has been able to get out of trouble in a way that makes him think that he's not doing anything wrong. And now that 10 years worth of trouble has caught up with him, everything's crashing down around him. I have a background in military.
And let me just pause it there for a second. And Blue Bacon is 100% hit the nail on the head. This clown's gotten away with so much stuff over the last 10 years or however long he's been doing it. He thinks he's doing it the right way. But when you read the funeral escort statute, he's in violation of the statute almost all the time. Not to mention all of the traffic offenses and his alleged police impersonation. When you're out there acting or doing things that would make people think you're a police officer, they're going to think you're a police officer. If you're out there in a uniform with a badge, I don't care what color your shirt is. I don't care whatever. You got purple flashing lights. I don't care. People are going to obey those commands for the most part, unless you've got a police officer that pulls up and says, "What the hell is this? Who is this clown? You need to get out of the road." And that's how this whole thing just snowballed. He had that one off-duty deputy. He banged on the hood of his truck. Jeremy says he was trying to run him over. He was just trying to go around him. They can't block open lanes of traffic, which they do numerous times on all of his videos. But Blue Bacon hit the nail on the head that he's been getting away with it so long. He thinks it's good to go. He can do that. So let's get back to the video.
Military police, I'm a private investigator. It's my job to find out the facts. I started a social media page where I'm known as Sergeant Blue Bacon, which allowed me to explain legal aspects of complicated things to people all across the world. Earlier this year, I discovered a YouTube channel that had acquired footage of Jeremy Dewitte and his company in action. He himself is quite a character.
Dumb in a blue car.
I posted the videos on my YouTube channel, and I had the chance to interview Jeremy.
I started to allow my security guys to start wearing tasers and the pepper ball weapons.
One of the things that I found very interesting when interviewing him was his insistence that he present a hard target by dressing similarly to a police officer. He's going to great lengths to portray himself as law enforcement so that he isn't messed with. Jeremy is impersonating a police officer. Jeremy is a narcissist and a compulsive liar. When I think about what he's doing, I feel pretty angry. The way he dresses, the shirt, the badge, he wears a bulletproof vest, carries a baton. He plays the part well. Most people think that he is a police officer. In fact, when they ask him if he is a police officer, he doesn't usually say no.
Law enforcement, identify yourself to me. What agency?
We're with Metro State. We're a state certified agency.
He said,
And I'm going to stop it here again. Jeremy uses this all the time. State certified agency. There is no certification for funeral escorts. That's his business. Funeral escorts. He's got a business license in the state of Florida. So, and I think Dr. Phil mentioned this, so does a hot dog stand. So they're a state certified hot dog stand. Yeah. So don't get confused with that. State certified agency, no. He's got a business license, period. From the state. That's it. There's no certification. There's no nothing. So, this guy, he drives me crazy because he deflects, and tries to say he's doing the right thing, and then he's got video of him breaking numerous traffic laws. Let's get back to it.
says that he's a state certified agent, which doesn't really clear it up. It's clear that he isn't law enforcement because of the way he acts.
Get the over.
Stop pretending you're a police officer.
He's challenging people to fight him in the middle of the street if they don't obey his rules, which he's not allowed to issue by law.
Come on, let's go, bitch. Get out your car.
Jeremy's got a chip on his shoulder with law enforcement. When Jeremy interacts with law enforcement, he has the statute that protects some of his actions.
And let's talk a little bit about this chip he's got on his shoulder. Way back when, before he caught his first felony charge, he was a police explorer. And, I mean, he was probably a good one, would be my guess. Right up until he impersonated a police officer at the age of 18 and, said he was a cop, and because his credit card was denied or something, and said he'd be back to pay it and didn't show back up to pay it. So, of course, they called the police and said, hey, one of your guys came in and blah, blah, blah. Well, the investigation led to him being charged and found guilty. So, ding, 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 you're never going to be a cop ever. So that's probably why he has this chip on his shoulder. He probably thinks he's better than every cop out there on the street and would have done a much better job than any cop out there on the street. When in fact, as an explorer, he impersonated a police officer. So, that's probably why he's got that big chip and why he's got an axe to grind with law enforcement. Because it's something he can never be. And we'll go back to the video.
Memorized.
Per Florida statute 960, we can have that.
And he sort of uses it to push them around. Jeremy needs to stop acting like law enforcement because it's a crime.
James, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
It bothered you that he's not, when people ask him, are you a law enforcement officer, he deflects and then says, I'm a state agent.
Sure.
State agency and state agent.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would like to start this by saying, looking at that uniform, nothing on there is illegal individually. the totality of the circumstances is where this becomes a problem. If I'm driving down the road and I see someone in an intersection wearing that, I'm not from Florida, so I can't speak for that, but that specifically, if I saw someone wearing that, stopping traffic, directing them, and I thought, well, that certainly looks like a police officer, because
100%.
standing, I don't know, 15, 20 feet away from it, I wouldn't be able to say, no, that's not a law enforcement uniform, having been law enforcement. And I went, hey, excuse me, sir, are you a police officer? And he said, I'm a state certified agent. Well, that tells me nothing.
I think if you take that badge and you look at it, does it have a building on it that looks like the building that's on a lot of law enforcement badges? Yes. Does
Actually,
it have
City
the
Hall,
same
Los
patterns
Angeles
and
City
everything?
Hall is
Yes.
actually what
It
it is.
is something that might be used in Hollywood in a movie to represent to people that this is a law enforcement officer. And I think most people look at this and say that you've gotten as close to the edge as you can get without crossing the line, in hopes that people will assume that you're a law enforcement officer so that you can enjoy the gravity that comes with presenting yourself that way without crossing the line. And you seem to be badge heavy when you even don't really have a badge, but that you're badge heavy. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description.
I just wanted to talk about this one. I think Blue Bacon did a great job. He wasn't allowed to bring anything up about the military in his Stolen Valor. I hope to be bringing you a live stream. The veteran that originally got the letter back from the National Personnel Record Center when he requested records on Jeremy, I hope to get him on here, and we're going to do a little chat about the Stolen Valor stuff and maybe pick apart the uniform he's wearing and just talk about Stolen Valor in general. So, stay tuned for that. I'm working out we're trying to work out all the logistics of making that happen. So anyway, Blue Bacon was 100% spot on. Jeremy's running around with a U.S. Army expert marksmanship badge that was right here with the two little bars under it. And I think it was rifle and pistol or machine gun and pistol. Well, he hasn't been able to touch a weapon since he was 18 because he's a convicted felon. So, that right there will get him locked up. So I don't know how he's wearing this expert marksmanship badge. The U.S. Army has 3 different levels. You've got marksman, you've got sharpshooter, and then you've got expert. And of course, Jeremy's an expert in everything. Just ask him, he'll tell you. Especially when it comes to Florida law and funeral escorts, which I think he's going to have a rude awakening if and when the trial ever comes up. I know he's posted a couple of videos, a day in the life. I can only imagine what it would be like a day inside his head. It would be insane, I'm sure. So anyway, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to get notifications on any upcoming media that I may upload. And stay tuned. I'll have more on that interview and discussion. That's going to be a live stream, probably, hopefully this weekend. I'll just say I'm going to try and get it worked out for this weekend. So with that, have a great day.